Hello everyone, welcome to the Beer Garden. Joe is absent today for our show, but we will include his selection later. So only Joshua and Steve will, along with myself, talking about the 10 race card at Sha Tin on Sunday. It is going to be another sunny race meeting in Hong Kong, featuring the Group 2 Sha Tin Trophy. And of course, we are going to cover it because it is the first leg of the treble. So race 8, it will be the Group 2 Sha Tin Trophy over 1600 meters. There are lots of good horses in the field. In the field of 14, Joshua, who do you like in this Group 2?
Yeah, it's hard to go away from California Spangle here based on his first up run. It's a cracking race, this one, to start off our treble legs with the Group 2.
Yeah.
And 12 of the 14 runners here are having their first start this season. And that's part of the reason I landed with California Spangle here because, in my opinion, who's going to get near him? Honestly, the horses that could mount a challenge are one run off him and resuming after a couple of months off. He was impressive first up with Zach Purton aboard. He rated him perfectly in front. He ran the quickest early sectionals of any horse on the day and still managed to run the 8th quickest final 600 metres of the meeting and quickest last 400 metres of the race, which is massive effort for a horse that's leading up and running the quick sectionals out in front. He understandably got tired over those final 200 metres, but still ran quicker than all bar one horse in that race. I have no issues with the gate here. It should suit him, using that early speed to get across his opposition. He probably will be too short to have a bet on, but he should be winning this leg of the treble or quaddie, depending on where you're betting.
Yes, right. I agree that California Spangle, who just had a brilliant winning style last time out on his seasonal debut, and this time breaking from the wide draw, but he has the good speed to overcome it. So hopefully he is the one to beat. Do you agree with that, Steve, or you have another pick you like?
I picked another one because and California Spangle's, I think, the most likely winner. But if you're picking him, it's kind of win or bust, isn't it? At those prices, and there'll be enough people picking him, and rightly so. But I just decided on take a bit of a swing with the bottom weight, basically. Charene Red Sun. He's a nice horse. He was there at all the fourth in the Classic Mile, second in the Classic Cup, and fourth in the Hong Kong Derby. He actually meets California Spangle something like 17, 18 pounds better off now. And obviously, California Spangle is a big improver, and he's got the benefit of a first-time run, as Joshua says. He should be up to winning this, even from gate 12. But I like Charene Red Sun. He was a bit of an unlucky horse last season, but he got, especially under Matthew Poon on his penultimate run, but he got his deserved win in the Hong Kong Race Owners Association, the ROA. So that was a good win under Zach Purton. And he gets in here off a very nice weight. He's drawn 7. There was a very encouraging barrier trial, which allowed Matthew Chadwick to be acquainted with him for the first time. And, if you're looking at an each way option here as well for Charene Red Sun, there's a few in here that I think are possibly perhaps seeing better days. White Cuckoo, maybe Russian Emperor, and Senior Tova, you'd imagine, will be looking for a longer trip later in the season, and also more than this 17 race losing run. So, if you're looking for a horse that, if California Spangle doesn't turn up, and a young horse in Charene Red Sun, who's certainly improving, a nice low weight, and comes from an excellent trainer in Douglas White too.
Yes, right. Another interesting runner in the field, number 14, Charene Red Sun, carrying a lighter weight and also breaking from a better barrier. There are only 2 4-year-olds in the field. One is California Spangle and the other one is Charene Red Sun. And these two horses are definitely up and coming. And for myself, I will also still go for number 3, California Spangle. I'm not that afraid of the wide draw, but hopefully he can break well and then overcome the wide draw in before the turn, because over the 60-meter track in Hong Kong is Sha Tin, there are a long straight in before the turn, so hopefully California Spangle with Zach Purton on board can overcome it. Of course, there are some more good horses in the field, like White Cuckoo, who is also a strong miler. However, he will just need some warm-up. And also Beauty Joy breaking from a wide draw as well. Actually, Zach Purton have some choices in some horses in the field like Waikuku, Beauty Joy, and other horses. But he decided to keep on riding California Spangle. So I definitely respect his decision. Yes, of course, during lessons, carrying a lightweight and better draw is also quite a good horse. But I believe this Sha Tin Trophy will be a match between two horses that will be the 2 4-year-olds that are also our selections. So in race 6, let me recap our selection. Joshua and I goes for number 3, California Spangle, and Steve goes for number 14, Turin Red Sun. We're looking forward to this group 2 race. And the second leg of the treble will be race 9, and other good race to watch. It is a class 2 over 1400. Joshua, who do you like in race 9?
I know in that last race, Steve took that risk. He did it against Campione and it paid off. So I'm hoping he's not going to go 2 from 2 here. Ice Legend, I like in race number 9, number 13. I found him as my value bet on the card. It's quite an interesting race here. You could make a case for a handful of these, and I suspect the market's going to have Tuchel as favourite, which I did back last time out, and I think he will end up favourite again. But he's going to come up shorter than what I've marked him, I reckon. So hence why I've gone with a little bit of value. Ice Legend was brilliant behind Tuchel last start, coming from near last on the turn to finish 1.7 lengths off him in 4th. Now, our guy ran the quickest last 200 of the race. It was right behind Captain Win, who had the rails run, and Tuchel, who had the gun run. So in terms of final sectionals of the race and meeting, he meets Captain Win half a kilo better off at the weights and meets Tuchel 3.1 kilos better off at the weights off that last race. And he's drawn a lot better here this time in Barrier 4. Had Captain Win drawn better, he would have been a bet for this race, but unfortunately he didn't. He drew wide again. I just feel he's going to get a similar run to last start, and Tuchel will probably be too short in the market to have a bet. So I feel free to box all those 3 up, maybe with Hossein Bolt and Cobfield for your exotics, but I feel like Ice Legend's going to get the sweet run with Matthew Poon aboard once again, and he should be thereabouts. And I think he's going to be a tremendous each-way bet on the card.
Yes, Ice Legend number 13 in race 9. He will still be ridden by Matthew Poon, taking out the 2 pounds. He will just carrying 115. It is definitely an advantage for him. And also the gate 4 is quite ideal for him. So he is also having quite good chance in race 9. Steve, who do you like? How about you in race 9?
Yeah, I went for Tuchel. He won last time, of course, with back in second place, Captain Win, then Hossein Bolt and Ice Legend and co-partner Ambition and Nepal. And as Joshua says, the unlucky horse was very much Captain Win, but really hasn't can't just buy a decent barrier this season, something 11, 12, 11. And as you say, coming from a wide gate, he's a hostage to fortune again if he's held up, gets over to the rail, and they're looking for a gap. And he was unlucky the last time, but I think he's hard to win with as well. I mean, that could have been his good run when the gaps weren't there. I like Tuchel. He's up £7. He asks more of him, but I think he's the horse that I would like to side. Ice Legend, a good chance, obviously. And I think on points, interesting. He was a 3-time winner last season over the 1400 metres, and he kind of lost his way at the end of the season, but there's a good horse in there, and it's interesting that Angus Chung takes £10 off. If he's fully primed, then he's interesting. And Oscar Glory, of course, Angus Chung won for Frankie Law, so it's an interesting booking there. But for me, Tuchel, sort of playing the safe option. He's drawn in 2, and he's from 70, a rating of 77. There's bound to be plenty of improvement there, so I think he could be up to defying the £7 rise.
Yes, right, because I will also go for number 3 to show. Hopefully, he can still show us some improvement. Actually, in this race, I think that the horses from the local stables are quite strong, including the Piang stables, Captain Win, and also I think that On Point is interesting, breaking from gate after a spell with Angus Chung on board, and also Ricky Yu's number 9 Eternal Bloom also have some good last time of performance, but it was a class 4 race. From Peter Ho stable, Happy Daily, he gets Jerry Chow on board, so a lightweight for him, and also of course from Bando Young stable, Ice Legend are the interesting. But I still decided to go for the foreign trainer John Sai's Tuchel because last season when he made his debut in Hong Kong, he didn't perform well over Happy Valley. However, when he moved to Sha Tin, he is a different horse. He win impressively under Joe Moreira at that time. And actually, last season, he was just 3-year-old. So after the summer break, Tuchel turns 4-year-old and he's now more mature. Last time on his seasonal debut with Zach Porton on board, he just won impressively, win by more than 1 length. So it was quite impressive. So this time, second up today, still racing over 1400 meters. He is unbeaten over this distance. So hopefully, Tuchel can show another good one for us. So to recap, race 9, Joshua goes for number 13, Ice Legend, and it is also his value bet. And then Steve and I will both agree with number 3, Tuchel. And then we go to the final leg of the treble. That race 10, it is another class 3, but over a shorter distance, over 1200 meters. Joshua, who do you like in race 10?
Yeah, it's another tough race that we've got here to end on. You could easily make a case for 7 or 8 of these. I love the second up run of Nam Jong Singh's at the Valley, coming from last to finish 1.3 lengths off your bet on the card that night, Charene, Adios, over the 1200 meters. He hasn't run at Sha Tin since November 2021, where he was a 4-length fourth to horse that's running in the Group 2, California Spangle. Half of his wins have come here at Sha Tin. He boasts a 3 out of 16 record here, which is around 18%. So he's, compared to the Valley, he's actually got a better record here at Sha Tin, believe it or not. So 4 of his 6 wins have come over the 1200 meters. He gets a lovely draw here in the race, and there's plenty of pace on paper, so he should be able to run on well. I'm banking on Vincent Ho to rate him nicely around midfield before making his run. He will need some luck, and he might be a nice price to find out, I think. But I respect horses like Super Fortune, who's going to make his own luck out in front, Packing Treadmill on the comeback, and Bundle of Charm. If the pace wasn't that hot, I would have had Bundle of Charm on top. But alas, I'm hoping that we're going to get some luck here from midfield and we can end the day off on a high with a good price runner.
Yes, number 4, Nam Jong Singh's this time breaking from gate 3. He can definitely take advantage of the good draw. And yes, I agree that moving back to Sha Tin, he is also suitable over this track because he already proven here. And Steve, how about you? Who do you like in race 10? There are so many horses to consider.
Yeah, I went for number 12, Fun and Glory. I thought it was a bit of a pin job, this. It's so hard to really nail your colours to any particular horse. Fun and Glory is a nice horse, never worse than 5th in 8 runs, and he's on the 1 win. But this 1200 meters over over Sha Tin suits him ideally. I thought it was a nice run last time. He was 4th to a very nice John Sai's debutant called Sweet Encounter, and he was behind the second place horse, which was Science Patch. Wouldn't be surprised if he turns the tables on Science Patch. I think Fun and Glory possibly needed that run, and it was a good run. And I would like to think he would be very much in the reckoning. Other horses to consider, Packing Treadmill, but drawn quite high, has to overcome a 140-day absence, and ready to win as well. Gate 12, Good Buddy, Gate 14, not easy. So for me, yes, I will. Fairly confident. I think Fun and Glory will give us a good run for our money. In each way, certainly at the moment, looks like a double figure price too.
Yes, I think so. Number 12, Fun and Glory. He's quite interesting because as the rating of 60, he can actually eligible for the class 4. However, maybe the trainer Chris So is thinking about the weights he carrying. Now in class 3, he will just carry 119 with Matthew Chadwick on board. I believe he is going to have some improvement here with the lightweight. And here I'm also thinking of taking some outsider here. Number 9, Seasons Bliss. Returning after a long spell, he should be performed well, and he scored 2 wins last season over 1200 meters, and then when he up to 1400, I think it is too fast for him, so he didn't race well, and I think there were some excuse. And after a spell, he's quite healthy now because his recent barrier trial showed that he's now fit enough for returning. So this time it is quite interesting to stepping back to 1200 meters. It should be a better distance for him, and also with Luke Curry on board, I think gate 6 is it's quite a good draw for him. I believe he can just stay behind the leaders, and it will be quite a good position for him. So this time only carrying 125 pounds and breaking from a good draw, returning back to 1200 meters, I will be more confident on him than 1400. So I will be looking forward to season split on his seasonal debut after a long spell. So to recap, race 6, Joshua goes for number 4, Name John Saints. Steve goes for number 12, Fun and Glory. And my selection will be number 9, Season's Bliss. So after talking about the 3 legs of the treble, let's go for our favorite part of the show. That will be our best bet. Joshua, who do you like for your best bet?
Look, it's been a theme for me over the past couple of weeks where my best bets haven't got home and they've been short prices. Now, I've gone a little bit different this week with a lot of my picks. Aside from California Spaniel, I've gone with horses that I think are going to be well in the market on the outer side away from the favourites. So I went with I'm a Single Man here. I think we might get a nice price about this guy with a lot of punters heading towards Zach Purton's mount, Lucky With You. Our bloke was tremendous first up behind Fantastic Treasure over this course and distance last time out, going down by just half a length in second after doing plenty of work from barrier 9. He's drawn better here. He gets a lovely 4.5 kilos off thanks to Angus Chung's claim. And he could get a suck run here behind Classic Unicorn, who will likely lead the field up. And he's going to carry a massive 7 kilos less than Lucky With You. He's proven at Class 2. He's even proven at higher levels than Class 2. I reckon this is a perfect setup for him to pinch a 1,200-metre race at this level, especially with how strong he's going to be over the last furlong or so. So especially now that he's got a run under his belt. I prefer to back him at whatever price he comes up as you would expect the top weight to be a short favourite. And I think we should get a nice price for a horse that's going to get the run of the race.
Yes, I think so. I think in race 3, number 1, Lucky With You is going to be the favorite, and also Fantastic Way will also have some short price. So I'm a Single Man, ridden by Angus Young, should have some good value. And I definitely think that last time it was really impressive. He was just beaten by another good horse, Fantastic Chaser. So this time taking out 10 pounds, very good chance for him. And Steve, how about you? Who will be your best bet?
I went to race number 7, and that was number 1, the John Size, Alexi Bedell ridden Sweet Encounter, who was a debut winner, an impressive debut winner over the 1,200 metres. I really found it difficult to pinpoint a best bet in this 10-race card, but I thought this was possibly a good one. He breaks from gate 14, which is always a bit tricky, but then we saw if a horse is good enough, we saw over the 1,200 metres recently, the John Size debutant Beauty Eternal winning well under Zach Purton. And I thought the rivals in this race were a bit of much of a muchness, and the amount of times following racing that I have ignored a gate 14 horse and it sweeps down on the outside simply because it's a different class to the others, up £8, but you know, if he's that good on debuts, 15 to 1 actually. It was quite big odds but it was a bit of a surprise. Obviously, won't be that this time. But and I think over the extra 200 metres, it will probably help him as well. And he had some nice horses toiling in his wake. He won by 2 lengths. Second place, of course, there was Science Patch, and then Lucky Archangel, a horse that I like, a reliable operator. And then fourth, Fun and Glory, who I picked in the last race. So a good run from my best bet will be a nice point towards Fun and Glory's chances in race 10. And so a nice horse. I'm hoping that a good run from Sweet Encounter in the Purple Silks of Vicky Tang, who had a few runners over the years. The most recent I can remember, A Smile Like Yours, 4th-time winner at Happy Valley for John Size.
Yes, right. Number 1, Sweet Encounter. Last time his debut performance was brilliant because the sectional time he did were quite good. And this time second up in Hong Kong, stepping up to 1,400 meters should not be a problem for this Tornado son. These sires is having quite good results in Hong Kong. So yes, Sweet Encounter is able to remain unbeaten on his second up. And for me, I definitely agree that it is not easy to have a best bet So I will go for the on the opener. Race 1, it is quite a special race because it is a class 4. However, it is a restrictor. So all the contenders are the maidens in Hong Kong. So I will go for number 1, Lean Hero, that he will be ridden by Alexis Badel, trained by David Hayes. This horse made his debut last season in Hong Kong over the Griffin race. He performed not that well over the strict course. However, when he stepped up to 1200 meters with the turn, he performed better and he did show some good speed. So this time it will be his second season here, turned 4-year-old and turned 3-year-old, and hopefully this son is the Morris son in Hong Kong. Morris is having quite good results when he was racing. He won the Hong Kong international races at that time. So I believe Lean Hero will also be suitable for racing in Hong Kong. And also after turning 3-year-old, he is now more mature. In his morning track work, he is doing quite well at Chong Fa. So this time breaking from gate 5, I expect he will just stay behind the leader. And with Alexis Badel on board, hopefully Lean Hero will show some improvement. He is definitely unexposed and I expect him to improve in this season. So race 1, number 1, Lean Hero for me. And to recap our best bet on Sunday at Sha Tin, Joshua goes for race 3, number 2, I'm a Single Man, and Steve goes for race 7, number 1, Sweet Encounter, and I will go for race 1, number 1, Lean Hero. So let's talk about some horses with good price. Joshua, can you remind us who will be your value bet?
Yeah, I found it very interesting actually listening to you with your best bet in race 1. Very interesting. Race 9, number 13, Ice Legend. As I said earlier, I think he's going to get a much better run this time from a much better barrier. Meets his opposition better off at the weights for their first up encounter. I think we're going to get a nice price about him at an each way price. I expect Two Shell to be well in the market, so I think we should get a nice price about Ice Legend.
Yes, Ice Legend, number 13 in race 9. I just checked that his weight. The horse is now getting stronger because he just gained 27 pounds after last race. So he's now more stronger and still very competitive here. And Steve, how about you? Who will be your value bet?
I went to, just before I go to my value bet, I found it interesting listening to you as well, a bit worryingly interesting because I picked the Inspiring City in race number 1, the stablemate. So I'm actually a bit concerned.
I did too, Steve. I did too.
Yeah.
Great
He's my second choice, actually. Another good horse.
Yeah, fingers crossed, eh? But that's reassured me a little bit, Joshua. Thank you. Race number 6. I thought, again, hard to really pinpoint an each way, but I thought race 6, Intrepid Winner, a nice horse ridden by Ruan Maya and trained by Tony Millard, who's not really started the season too brightly, but I think it's not long for a good trainer like that clicks into gear. And Maximus nearly defied a very long absence last week, so I think it won't be long at all. And but an interesting horse, Intrepid Winner. Towards the end of last season, over the 2,000 meters, he was performing really well, and 2 third places. So I think a good draw this time. 1,800 meters, Ruan Maya on board, really good chance. Interesting race, though. We've got Entrusted there. We've got Precise Express, who was a little bit unlucky last time, and also the likes of Looking Cool, who was behind his stablemate, looking great last time. He was badly drawn then. Now he's in gate 1 with Zach Purton on board. But yeah, I think Intrepid Winner is my idea of a nice each-way shout in race number 6 over the 1,800 meters.
Yeah, so number 7, Intrepid Winner in race 6, he's going to have some good value, I believe. And I think now at a rating of 68, he is quite competitive, and he's going to have his seasonal debut on Sunday. Before that, he just had an impressive barrier trial. He ran second, and he did show a great turn of foot. So hopefully, Intrepid Winner can have some good performance on Sunday. And for me, for my value bet, I will go for number 8, General Winner in race 5. It is going to be a 1,400 meters race, and yes, General Winner, he will have his second up for the season. Another horse ridden by Luke Curry, I'm looking forward to. And gate number 12 is even better for him because the horse is in really big size. So after a first up, he chased well last time out, and then second up today, also working from the wide draw. The horse just like staying outside. So hopefully he can can run well. And this time, I think that it is time for him to show some improvement, because last time the pace was too slow for him to show the turn of foot. So this time, I believe there are some fast horses in race 5. For example, I just checked that maybe number 9, Baby Choi, and also number 3, Charene Steed will be leading, and also number 11, Voyage Star. So there should be some pace here in race 5. So it will be better for general winner to chase well. So to recap our value bet on Sunday, Joshua goes for race 9, number 13, Ice Legend, and Steve goes for race 6, number 7, Intrepid Winner, and I will go for race 9, number 8, General Winner. So that's all for our selection on Sunday at Sha Tin. Actually, we did cover most of the races on the card. It is going to be an interesting race meeting. So hopefully you will enjoy it, and hopefully we can bring you some winner. Thank you for watching, and see you next time for the Happy Value Preview. Bye-bye.